want to show you now how you can link two words together, because maybe they're one idea and you want them to appear that way for the student. So here's my first words I want to link, Mrs. And then to link it with the name, you hit the Shift key and the minus button to give you an underscore. And I'll say Mrs. Smith. The reason I want Mrs. Smith to appear as one idea is that when the student actually has to click on words, it will tell them, click on Mrs., click on Smith. If I don't link them, if I do link them, it will say, click on Mrs. Smith. And when the student sees it, the underscore won't be there. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's say Mrs. Smith went to, and here's my second words I want to link. This photo is Poo Poo, and I'm going to link it, Springs, because the name of the place is Poo Poo Springs. And again, I don't want the student to have the instruction, click on Poo Poo, click on Springs. I want it to say, click on Poo Poo Springs. So there we go. We've got two words linked. Now, if I go to next and finish and save, first of all, it's going to say Mrs. Smith is not in the database. Do you wish to add it? And yes, I do. It's a name. So check the name, hit the tick button, and I'm going to record Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith. Here we go. We always crop the sound so that we don't have big gaps at the beginning and the end of words. Play it.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes, I'm happy with that. And then it's going to automatically tell us that Poo Poo Springs is not in the database. So we're going to add it, hit the tick button. Again, it's a name. Check that box. Then yes. And let's record Poo Poo Springs. Poo Poo Springs. We can play it.
Poo Poo Springs.
We can edit it by bringing in the blue columns. Play it again.
Poo Poo Springs.
Yes, and save. So now if we were to go
Mrs.
and play
Smith
our story.
went to Poo Poo Springs.
If we hit that one and then we listen to it.
Mrs. Smith went to Poo Poo Springs.
You see that the underscore has disappeared. So it doesn't show when the student is actually reading the story. If we were to click on words.
Mrs. Smith went to Poo Poo Springs. Click on went. Went. Click on Mrs. Smith.
See, it's come up as one idea with which is two words linked together.
Mrs. Smith. Click on Poo Poo Springs.
And here these ones. It doesn't matter whether you click on Poo Poo or Springs.
Poo Poo Springs.
It's
Click
linked them
on
together.
To. Mrs. Smith went to Poo Poo Springs.
So that underscoring of words that you want linked together is an incredibly useful function.